Hello, my name is Allie, and welcome to my channel. We are back with Hakuoki Kyoto Winds, but we are starting Yamazaki's route. Now, as I started with the last couple of routes, or a few routes, I started where I just go through the prologue, just the answer choices, because it just gets so freaking repetitive, and we'll be constantly working on this forever. We are less than halfway done. A little less than halfway left, because we are on route number 5, and there are 12 altogether, so we just completed number 6. So we are a little over halfway done, which is crazy to think that. Anyway, I've decided that after this Hakuoki game, I will not go straight to Hakuoki Echo Blossoms. I may do another PC game. I'll have to figure out which one I want to do for sure. I have quite a few options, so yes. I'm going to try to do a PC game and then a Switch game, and just keep going back and forth from that. And not 2 PC games or 2 Switch games, even though I got a lot of new Switch games too. So yeah, let's just go. So our first answer choice will be find a way to escape. And because we've already seen both of these, I'm not going to move forward reading through after this. So find a way to escape. All right, answer choice number 2 will be stay put where I was. All right, number 3 will be stay put. That's why I said stay put last time, because I saw both answers. Number 4 will be wow, I had no idea. Number 5 is quietly return to my room. Number 6 will be accompany Hijikata as his page. Number 7 is explain the situation. Now we're reaching chapter 2. Nice. Which I still may skip through due to the fact that unless it has a white one that we pick, a white choice, but we'll see. We are going to remain in the compound. This is one thing I don't like about these types of games, the constant repetitiveness. This is why I'm doing this, because if you're going to watch every single route of mine doing this, it's going to get super repetitive and it's going to take way too long with 12 routes. Jeez. We're going to say, why me? All right, this is going to be our first white answer choice. Yay! So I'll be moving forward from here by actually reading the rest. I promise to give the message. I understand. I will get the message to them. Butterfly!
I'm glad you said that. I'm putting it in your hands.
Got it. When we'd left the compound, I'd already decided that Yamazaki deserved my utmost trust. So, I didn't look back. Run! As I stepped into the next intersection, I saw a flash of metal from the corner of my eye.
Keep going. I'll catch up in a moment. Just keep running until you see a white uniform.
Right. I kept running. I pretended I didn't hear the sounds of swords ringing against one another behind me and ran. My knees felt weak and my legs shook, but I kept going. They'd have to collapse or tear themselves to pieces before I'd stop. Even so, I felt so slow. I wanted to cry out, to scream at my body to go faster, faster. Ah! A bright light suddenly cut through the darkness, and I placed my hand over my eyes from the glare. My heart stopped. Was it Choshu soldiers? I froze.
What the hell are you doing? I don't know who this is. I'm just using a voice.
I very nearly began to cry with relief. Hijikata was not dressed in the usual light blue jacket, but rather a bright white uniform to be seen in dimly lit places. Instead, I simply collapsed as Harada reached out to grab me.
Hey, you alright? If you left the headquarters without permission, Hijikata's gonna kill you.
I grabbed hold of Harada's hand and pulled my body to its feet. I wanted to tell him I had permission to leave and explain it was all right for me to be there, but I was so winded that I could barely speak. Besides, I wasn't sent to Hijikata to make excuses. I took as deep of a breath as my shuttered lungs could manage before speaking. They're meeting Ariketa. Suddenly, Hijikata's expression changed.
Then they are Ariketa.
I nodded rapidly.
Are you sure?
Hijikata gestured toward me.
Sanan lost his arm, not his brain. The kid didn't run away. The colonel sent us this message.
I'm pretty impressed you found us. I didn't think you knew Kyoto that well, kid. Yamazaki. I'd finally got some of my breath back, and I did my best to tell them what had happened.
What about the Aizu and the commissioner's men? Are they on their way to Ikeda?
I just shook my head. Hijikata thought for a moment, then spoke.
Saito, Harada, you take our men to Ikeda. I need to go deal with something.
Harada and Saito nodded curtly, then turned to their business.
Kyoto will be dangerous for you alone. Stay with us or go with Hijikata.
I still lacked the breath to respond properly, so I simply nodded. We both knew they couldn't leave me here, but whom should I accompany? I'm just going to move forward, just keep reading. I'm not going to just do the answer choices this time. So we are going to say, stay with Hijikata. The prospect of being alone with him was rather frightening, but for reasons I still don't understand, I decided to go with Hijikata. We were quiet for a while. I felt like I should say something, but I wasn't sure what. Instead, I kept quiet. After a moment, he glanced down at me. Butterfly for him. Wrong person.
Good job with that message. It might have given us the advantage we need.
I never thought Hijikata of all people would praise me for anything. My heart fluttered momentarily in my chest. But what did he mean by an advantage? If the battle at the Ikeda Inn had begun, it didn't seem like we had much of an advantage at all. We stepped from the alley into the central avenue. Hijikata? Why are we out here on the street?
What kind of man tries to hide all the time?
I blinked, not sure what to make of that. Yamazaki appeared beside us without making a sound. Yamazaki, you're safe. He didn't seem to have been hurt at all, thank goodness. Yamazaki's eyes slid to me for a moment, then back to Hijikata.
You're aware of the situation at Ikeda, I assume? Colonel Sanan ordered me to notify the Aizu and the Judiciary Commissioner, but yeah. I'll have new orders for you in a few minutes. Stick close for now. Understood. Your commander needs to go and have a word with a bunch of useless bastards.
Deep in his cold eyes, I saw a spark of anger. They appeared as the words came out of his mouth, lines of government soldiers marching towards us. There were hundreds of men marching across the entire width of the street, several rows deep. Now I understood why Hijikata took us out into the street. We would never have seen the government force if we shimmied through the back alleys. There was something about their march, so slow and unconcerned, that lit the fire of anger in my eyes. The rest of the men are still fighting at the inn. The Shinsengumi had a few soldiers able to fight, but they were risking their lives for Kyoto. Didn't these men have the same responsibility? Why weren't they running to help us at the inn? Perhaps my anger was more obvious than I realized, because Hijikata gave a snort of laughter.
Don't worry. I'll make sure they don't screw us.
He stepped forward into the very middle of the street, directly in front of the advancing soldiers. All he did was move a few feet and turn to face them, but he held such authority in his movements. He could have easily been at the head of an army.
The Shinsengumi are currently conducting an official investigation of the Ikeda Inn. You will not interfere. You will not enter the Ikeda Inn.
Even I could see the government men were going to protest Hijikata's proclamation when Yamazaki leaned over to whisper in my ear.
If we let these men walk into the inn, then they'll take credit for subduing the Choshu threat.
What? How could they? After all the Shinsengumi had done, it just didn't seem fair. But it's the men of the Shinsengumi who are risking their lives.
Then you see now how little respect they have for the Shinsengumi. The commander is single-handedly protecting the Shinsengumi right now. If we allow them to step into the Enkata Inn, they will spread tales of their false heroism. All that we may do here tonight will be in vain if we allow them to front the raid. That is why the commander is trying to prevent the Aizu domain from intruding.
Yamazaki held Hijikata in such high regard. So when Hijikata said we had an advantage, this is what he was referring to.
But we must. You really think you can fit all these men in there? The best you'll be able to do is surround it. Unless you really want to send them in there to die. There's a fight going on. If you value the lives of your men, I suggest you stay put.
Arrgh. Hijikata's tone, as much as his words, left no room for argument. Until the battle ended, he stood his ground, and not a single man challenged it. Or him. Whatever. Finally, the sun rose from the black sky. Wow. The raid itself had lasted only 2 hours. But for me, at least, it had felt far longer. There had been 20 Imperial nationalists at the Ikeda Inn. The Shinsengumi had killed 7 Ronin and injured 4 more. I learned later that with the help of the Aizu domain and the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner, they arrested 23 people. The owner of the Ikeda Inn had also been arrested for trying to help the Choshu rebels escape. The Shinsengumi had won an incredible victory, fighting against superior numbers in enemy territory, but they paid dearly for it. Okita had taken a blow to the chest and lost consciousness. Heisuke had been cut on the forehead, and the bleeding refused to stop. Nagakura had injured his left hand. One of the Shinsengumi soldiers lost his life at the inn's rear entrance, and 2 others were severely injured there as well. It didn't seem likely that they would survive. The Kyoto military and judiciary commissioners also fought the Choshu Ronin. With their successful resolution of the Battle of Ikeda Inn, the Shinsengumi had, at last, made a name for themselves. It looked as though the peace in Kyoto had been protected. Never could I have imagined that the ultimate results of their victory would be... Come on, really. July 1864. End of July 1864. Weeks passed since the Battle of the Ikeda Inn. In the meantime, the Shinsengumi grew stricter during their rounds to arrest the numerous outlaw Ronin that escaped from the Ikeda Inn. Rumors surfaced of extremists who were plotting to exact revenge on the Shinsengumi. Additionally, there were also problems occurring with warriors spanning from other domains, making things tense around the headquarters. Things were finally settling down. As a result of my efforts during the battle, they grew more encouraging of my involvement. The Shinsengumi allowed me to sweep the area in front of the headquarters on my own. One day I was cleaning the courtyard with a broom when I heard gentle footsteps approaching me. Did I really forget his voice again?
Excuse me, but is this the Shinsengumi headquarters?
Oh, yes. The voice came from behind me, so I was caught off guard when answering. Didn't I meet you the other day?
Ah, hello. It's been a while since the tea shop.
I met him on the first day. I was allowed to leave the Shinsengumi compound. This was the mysterious samurai that helped me while I awaited Hijikata's return at the tea shop. Why, yes. I appreciate your help the other day.
No problem. I mean, as I told you then, the pleasure was all mine. In any case, I'm glad to see that you seem to be doing well at Chizuru.
Now that I remember it, this man called me by my name when I encountered him. But I never learned his name. I remember Hijikata scolded me for not knowing his name, so I brought up the question. I'm so sorry for never asking your name despite you saving me. Is it all right if I get your name? His eyes twinkled kindly before he spoke, and I sensed a faint melancholy in his voice.
I am Hachiro Iba.
Ah, Hachiro Iba. What a pretty name. I have to tell Hijikata later. So, how may I help you today, Iba?
Oh, well...
Iba kept stealing a glance towards the base. I just realized he's going to be our next route. Interesting. I assumed his business was with the Shinsengumi. When I first met him, Iba defeated a tea shop keeper from Takeda. In this encounter, Takeda proudly declared himself as a warrior of the Shinsengumi. I slightly suspected Iba intended to visit and inform the leaders about the incident. Doop-a-doo. Hijikata showed up suddenly, as if he telepathically knew I was speaking to someone. Oh, Hijikata, this man is... Before I could finish my sentence, the man ran towards Hijikata.
Oh, I knew it! Toshi! It's me, Hachiro. Long time no see. You're... Wait, Hachiro? What the hell are you doing here?
When Hijikata realized who it was, his eyes grew wide.
Are you surprised? I visited Kyoto with shogunate orders. Forget about me. Man, so it really was you connected to the Shinsengumi. I couldn't believe it until I made sure for myself. Congratulations, you really did become a samurai. Aw, come on. Don't mock me. I mean, we're treated no better than any Ronin. Yes, but your dream of becoming a samurai came true. Hey, I said don't mock me. Oh, come now. The Shinsengumi are famous in Edo. You are so feared that even crying children go hush. I heard about your victory at the Ikeda Inn. It would seem you lot are flourishing. Well, we're working on it.
He's blushing. How very unlike himself. Hijikata seemed to be flustered, and his cheeks were rosy. Their rapport suggests they've known each other for some time. Were they good friends? I still needed to tell Hijikata that Iba was the samurai who came to my aid at the tea shop. Once I verified their conversation had come to a halt, I mustered the courage to speak to Hijikata. Hijikata? This was the young gentleman who helped me from Takeda the other day at the tea house. Hijikata furrowed his eyebrows.
Oh, I see. Sorry for her causing trouble. Well, rather, I guess you saw something you shouldn't have seen. I just happened to pass by. Besides, I was there for personal reasons, so I didn't report it to anyone.
I'm going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!